breaking news. First warning weather, Action 3 News, live at midday, starts now.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Mary Williams. It is the first day of spring, but it is a winter wonderland out there. You are looking live right now at the I-680 and Dodge area. Snow, for the most part, has tapered off at this point. That does not mean we are done for the day. Let's get straight over to first warning meteorologist C.T. Tunklin. You're talking about, what, 4 or 5 inches on the ground right now, and a few more to come.
Right. And what's really interesting about the snowfalls that we've had so far is that the ground is quite warm with temperatures in the mid-30s as well. A lot of the snow is melting, so even though we've seen 4 or 5 inches, it may be a little bit less here once we travel through time. In a lull right now, but it looks like snow starting to pick up just to the south of Bellevue, right over Plattsmouth, right across the river towards Pacific Junction and Red Oak eventually. Looks like another pocket of some moderate snow heading towards Logan and eventually out to the west, very close to Columbus and in David City. Numerous winter storm warnings in effect for the viewing area, including the Omaha Metro. Also, just off to the north, winter weather advisory for areas near Harlan, Ottawa, and Logan, as we're expecting some lesser snowfall amounts. This will all expire at 6 o'clock tomorrow morning, which means we are still looking at accumulating snowfalls through at least 6 tomorrow morning. Once this whole thing is said and done, I think it'll be safe to assume that we'll have at least a foot on the ground here in the Metro. Looks like at least 16 inches off to the west of us near Norfolk and Columbus. If you're on the Iowa side, looks like about 8 inches once you head close to Council Bluffs and Atlantic. And then once we trail off to Des Moines and Sioux City, about 4 inches. So certainly a very significant early spring snowstorm. But I do have a big thaw in the forecast as we head towards the weekend. That'll be coming up in just a few minutes.
Some good news. Thanks, CT. This wet winter weather caused a lot of accidents this morning. Action 3 News reporter Kathy Sarantos-Niver is live at the 36th Street Bridge looking over the interstate. A slushy mess out there, Kathy.
Well, people are getting around okay now, a lot better than they were about 6 hours ago, Mary. You can see the interstate is drying off. There's no more snowpack and traffic's going about the posted speed limit. That wasn't the case about 6 this morning. Interstate traffic was moving at a crawl after this accident involving a semi. Not long after that, a woman was taken to the hospital after her car flipped into a ditch near 180th and Center. But this is what the more typical streets look like. Strong winds, wet snow, slush all over the street, and lots of plows. The city's public works director tells me warm pavements worked in the city's favor, melting the snow as it hit the ground. Plenty of advance warning about this storm helped too. The city was able to mobilize some 200 workers in 2 24-hour shifts. They hit the streets with 85 pieces of equipment. Now, the public works director tells me the plows are in the residential areas now, and they really didn't have any major problems this morning. He says not having all those school buses out and all the traffic that goes along with it really helped. Mary?
And you know, Kathy, you just mentioned not having all that traffic out on the road, a big help this morning. We are not hearing a lot of scanner traffic here back at the office for accidents. You just not seeing the cars on the road?
That's right. We just heard, that big rash of accidents this morning. Then it really got quiet. The side roads, I didn't see a lot of traffic, but there's a lot of traffic on the interstate now. But I know coming down here to this bridge, there isn't the traffic on the roads that we usually see.
All right. Thanks a lot, Kathy, for that live report. Now, travel just outside of Omaha right now is okay, but it is expected to get worse throughout the afternoon. Action 3 News reporter Joe Jordan is live near Interstate 80 on the west side of town. Joe.
Well, Mary, as we've been saying, the roads are pretty dry right now, in part because obviously the snow has stopped. Number 2, the winds have really picked up, and that's drying off some of the pavement. But this morning it was a rough ride between Omaha and parts west, including obviously Lincoln, Grand Island, and the road experts expect their headaches to increase this afternoon. This is I-80 about halfway between Omaha and Lincoln. Plenty of snow plows, but according to the State Highway Department, the interstate and all major roads out here are icy, snowy, and a bit dangerous. Greyhound Bus Lines has already canceled 2 buses leaving Omaha for Denver today. There's not a lot of drifting snow, but enough to narrow I-80 down from 3 lanes to about 1.5 just outside of Omaha. The suggestions are what you've heard before: slow down, but many don't, and that even includes the State Patrol. Now, if you work in downtown Omaha, there's a good chance you won't be working as long as you would have expected. City officials are asking businesses in town to send their workers home early to try to avoid a big snarl up during the rush hour. Reporting live, Joe Jordan, Action 3 News.
Now, snow emergencies are in effect in many cities. Generally, a snow emergency restricts parking so snow plows can clear streets. Council Bluffs, Papillion, La Vista, Valley, Bellevue, Lincoln, Waterloo, Trainer, and Herman are all under snow emergencies. Each city may have different rules about where and when you can park in the street. The best idea is to park off the street wherever you live. Don't forget, if you plan on traveling, you can call ahead for road conditions across the state. Dial 511 to get current weather and highway conditions. You will also be given information on how to get reports for surrounding states. Chrysler is recalling some of its most popular 2005-2006 cars. The company says it needs to replace a faulty front windshield wiper motor. This recall involves 269,000 Dodge Durango, Dodge Caravan, Grand Caravan, and Chrysler Town & Country models. Chrysler says owners will be notified when parts are available. The Iraq War has officially entered its fourth year, and President Bush is delivering a speech at this hour on how U.S. troops are working to remove terrorists and restore order in Iraqi cities. More than 2,300 military personnel have died in Iraq since the war began. The Bush administration estimates about 30,000 Iraqis have been killed. A tire recycling center in Michigan goes up in flames. Take a look at this. You can actually see the intense flames and heavy smoke pouring into the night sky. Fire started yesterday evening and is still burning at this hour. Witnesses say they could feel the heat from over 100 yards away. No word yet on how this fire started or if anyone was hurt. Check out the flooding down south in Texas. Torrential rain put a lot of the northern part of the state underwater yesterday. Continuous severe thunderstorms have dropped more than 10 inches of rain in Dallas since Friday. Emergency officials have been racing around managing flooding, road closings, and water rescues like this one. So far, one person has died. Forecasters predict several more inches of rain today. The mayor of Australia says it looks like an atomic bomb hit the northeastern coast. Officials fear Cyclone Larry has left thousands of people homeless. 50,000 homes are without power following the storm that packed 180-mile-per-hour winds. Larry ripped roofs off buildings and mowed down sugar and banana plantations. No deaths or serious injuries have been reported, but officials say there is still danger in the wake of this Category 3 storm. The Creighton basketball team is gearing up for a game against the Miami Hurricanes tonight in the second round of the NIT. The Jays get another home game, and it is a chance for fans to watch a team out of the Atlantic Coast Conference. Tip-off, 7 p.m. Make sure to watch Action 3 News just in case the weather affects the start time of that game. If you would like to listen to the game, it will be broadcast live on the new Big Sports 590. CT will have another check on our snowy forecast coming up. Also coming up, it may be snowy outside, but today is actually the first day of spring. Get ready for the Greater Omaha Orchid Show. Details after the break. And of course, Taggy Rutherford is here to answer all your financial questions. Give us a call right now, the number 597-7680. We'll be right back.
Breaking news. First warning weather. This is Action 3 News, live at midday, with Mary Williams and meteorologist C.T. Tonklin.
Did you ever have sex with her?
No, the police reports are wrong. I did have sex with her. When I found out that she was 13, I ended all ties with her.
Exclusive stories you won't find anywhere else. Only on Action 3 News, live at 10.
I wake up every morning and wake up all the kids, feed the kids because my wife is still asleep.
Terry says that her large chest prevents her from cleaning. Is it true that you just stay much on this domestic engineering?
I don't like doing housework.
I understand you don't like it. What's that got to do with it?
Plus, mother by day and party girl by night.
You go out to these clubs and you're flashing your breast.
Next, Dr. Phil.
You insane?
Dr. Phil, today at 3 on your Action 3 News Station.
Your fridge isn't cold enough? Don't have a lot of dough?
Call 5530900. Call all appliance.
Your dryer isn't drying. Where'd the heat go?
Call 553-0900. Call All Appliance.
For appliance repair, there's one number to know.
Call 553-0900. Call All Appliance.
For over 50 years, trust the home team, All Appliance, for all your appliance repairs.
My husband and I plan to retire in a couple years. I almost had to do it sooner. As a teacher, I'm on my feet all day, and the pain was awful. So I tried Z-Coil shoes.
By providing superior cushioning and proper support, Z-Coil Pain Relief footwear reduces the damaging effect of impact on your body.
So when I do retire, I'll still be wearing Z-Coil shoes.
Visit Z-Coil Pain Relief footwear at 14641 Industrial Road in Omaha.
It's America's Best Designer Madness Sale. 2 pairs of incredible designer glasses for just $69.95 with a free eye exam. We've bought thousands of designer frames by Jeffrey Bean, DKNY, Nicole Miller, Ellen Tracy, Eddie Bauer, and more. You'd spend over $200 for these frames alone at other stores. Now get 2 pairs of designer glasses and a free eye exam for just $69.95. Call 1-800-2PAIR or go online. Hurry, sale ends Saturday.
You can't choose when your car gets sick. That's why Jensen Tire and Auto opens early and is open Saturdays. And with the most locations in town, Quality Tires and Expert Auto Service are always close by. Think of it as an ER for your car.
Jensen, we keep cars healthy. Satisfaction levels may increase significantly. And you'll love that Jensen has 18 convenient locations in town. There's great tires and expert auto service very close to you at Jensen Tire and Auto.
Now your Action 3 News First Warning Forecast with meteorologist C.T. Tonklin.
All right, spring officially begins at 12:26. Hard to believe about a week ago we were talking about over 100 reports of tornadoes in Missouri that unfortunately cost some fatalities. Now we're on to an early spring snowstorm. Earlier this morning we had some reports up to 1 foot of snow in Osceola, Nebraska. In Elkhorn, roughly around the Omaha metro, we had 5-6 inches and down to about 4.5 in Underwood, Iowa. Obviously, the threat for the rest of the day today will be some increasing snow, and it will become heavy as we head through this evening. I'll show you why coming up in a moment. Also, we'll be looking at the snow accompanied by some strong winds. The good news tomorrow, looks like we'll start off today with some leftover light snow, maybe some flurries, but that'll be about it. And obviously on Wednesday, we're in pretty good shape with skies becoming partly cloudy. As we check out what's happening around the country, notice this humongous curl of clouds. Believe it or not, this is actually one area of low pressure, and it's curling in some counterclockwise winds, bringing in just tons of moisture from the Gulf of Mexico that help feed some of the flooding storms that Mary talked about in the last break here. And as the winds are starting to circulate again counterclockwise, we're starting to wrap in some of that cool air, and that's converting whatever moisture is left over into some snow here. Now let's go ahead and show you First Warning 3D Viper. The reason why that we're not completely done with the snow quite yet is we're just on the eastern edge. In fact, the backside of the snowstorm is in eastern Colorado. I've had quite a few people call me up earlier this morning. Is it over? No, not quite yet, because we still have to get through this intense band of snow once we head through the remainder of this afternoon, this evening, and tonight. So we're just dealing with just the onset of this very intense band of snow. Back over to the weather computer, and on the First Warning future track, we are looking at snow that'll become likely as we head through the remainder of the afternoon. Looks like by far the heaviest of the snow should be roughly between 4 o'clock this afternoon and midnight tonight. I wouldn't be surprised if we were to hear a couple of rumbles of thunder as well. Our atmosphere is set up today that we may even hear again some thunder snow. And as we head throughout the rest of the night tonight, looks like the heavy snow should migrate to the east of us near Des Moines by 7 tomorrow morning. That'll be the end of any accumulating snows and just a few lingering flurries throughout the day tomorrow. As far as how much, again, we're looking at roughly 1 foot of snow here in the metro, at least 16 inches if you're off to the west near Columbus and Norfolk, and the snow drops off quite a bit if you're heading east towards Atlantic and Des Moines, as we're looking at 4 inches, even 2 inches as you head into central Iowa. Right now we're at 33 degrees, pretty mild out there with east winds, but the winds are going to curl in from the northeast, and that's what's already happening now off to the northwest in Norfolk. And that's the reason why it's snowing there, and it's a little bit warmer farther east you go. Temperatures still holding steady in the 30s with winds from the northeast. Again, winds will eventually curl in from the north and northeast, so temperatures should cool down tonight to 25. Throughout the day tomorrow, a few lingering flurries, otherwise cloudy skies. 30 degrees, and look at the big warm-up. We should be back into the 40s as we head towards Friday into the upcoming weekend. Mary?
Thanks a lot, CT. Well, if you are looking for a bright spot on this Monday with all that snow out there, it is time to talk about orchids. The annual Orchid Show coming up at the Marriott, the 19th annual, been around for a long time. Coming up this weekend, in to tell us a little bit more about it is Roberta Ginnivan, and she brought some beautiful flowers in. Absolutely gorgeous. Wow. Tell us, first of all, a little bit about the show. Can we buy orchids there?
You'll be able to buy orchids there, and you'll be able to see all kinds of orchids there. We have 15 vendors coming in. Some of them are vendors who have been here before, and some of them are new to us. As a matter of fact, this year we have 2 vendors coming from South America, one from Ecuador and one from Peru. We have people coming from Connecticut, Wisconsin, Missouri, here in Nebraska, Iowa, Texas, all over.
For those of us who are not in the know about orchids, when you think about orchids, you think about the one right there to your right. If you can go ahead and pick that one up and show, oh, actually, we've got it. Go ahead and just leave it there.
Oh,
what is the name of that one there?
That's a Phalaenopsis.
And pretty common. You can pick them up in the store for about $20, $25.
Yes.
That's one of, how many did you tell me in the commercial break? 35,000?
Species.
Species, yes.
And hundreds and hundreds of thousands of hybrids.
So when we go, is this an educational meeting as well?
Yes, yes. Our show will be in conjunction with the Mid-America Orchid Congress meetings, and that's a consortium of orchid societies from 20 states and Canadian provinces. And our show is in conjunction with that this year, which is why it's in March instead of in February, and also why we have some of the special vendors coming in, and we'll be having more exhibits. People can see flowers in bloom, they can buy flowers, they can see flowers that have been chosen because of their beauty or their symmetry or their color or whatever.
So you don't have to know that much about them to appreciate
them.
Just
come and enjoy them.
Yes, $4 to get in. We can go ahead and put some information up on the screen right now. It is this weekend from 10 until 5, I believe. $4 at the door. If you would like more information, 734-4112. Roberta, thanks for coming.
Could I add one really quick thing?
Very quick.
For photographers, photographers only will be open from 8 until 10 on Sunday morning.
Perfect. Thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you.
We will be right back. Still ahead, Taggy Rutherford is here to answer all your financial questions. Here are the latest numbers now from Wall Street.
Dr. Phil's tip of the day.
I want to talk to you today about partnerships. I mean, we all get in partnerships in different ways, and biggest one, of course, is the partnership we have with a life partner. And the whole idea of a partnership or a team is that you have common goals, right? You have something that you're primarily interested in. And if you share that, it's like pulling a heavy wagon up a hill. If the two of you are pulling it, you'll make some pretty good progress. But if you start pulling in 2 different directions, you can really get stalled. Now, too many people marry because they're in love, and they never define the direction, the goals, the priority that love is supposed to take them. And then they just wake up and react to what comes their way during the day instead of proactively choosing what they want to focus on in their marriage. Find out what you can agree on: kids, money, lifestyle, religion, geography. Talk about these things actively so you're pulling in the same direction.
Dr. Phil's tip of the day is brought to you by Cold Stone Creamery. If you don't indulge yourself, who will? Dr. Phil, weekdays at 3 on your Action 3 News station. Star 104.5 is part of the Action 3 News First Warning Severe Weather Network.
What is Action 3 News?
It's live breaking news coverage when it happens, where it happens.
When news breaks near you, count on Action 3 News.
We'll be there live showing you what's going on and how it could affect you.
Covering breaking news is a 24/7 job, and that's what Action 3 News is all about.
Live breaking news coverage
of the area's most important stories.
Watch tonight and see for yourself. Action 3 News live at 10, your source for breaking news.
Menards has all your spring project needs. Get your garden started with a front-tine tiller from Yard Machines. This 5.5 horsepower has a 24-inch adjustable tilling width and a 4-cycle Tecumseh engine. Only $259. Right now, all Rubbermaid brooms and mops are 25% off. This angle broom is $4.99. This butterfly mop is only $9.74. Service, quality, selection. Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Finding the furniture you want and being able to afford it? Now that's when you're feeling lucky.
At Furniture
Furniture Row Outlet St. Patrick's Festival of Savings, you'll get a lot more furniture for a lot less green. That's because for a limited time only, you can take your choice of 3 great finance offers. Pay no interest for 1, 2, or 3 years with no payments for the first year. Plus, all our prices are backed by our 200% guaranteed lowest price pledge. Hurry into Furniture Row St. Patrick's Festival of Savings and take your choice of 3 outstanding no-interest finance offers.
To try to decide when you need a lawyer, it is if you have an injury that is significant enough to require medical treatment. It is about what happens after they've been hurt. And they are scared because they have been, like most people, living paycheck to paycheck, and that's interrupted. They're hurt. Some of them are mad. Fair compensation ends up being the objective in every one of these cases, and we know what we're doing.
Bellevue University really helped me accomplish what I wanted to do. The faculty was great. It was definitely a real-world experience for me.
Commencement to me means that I'm moving forward in the world and being all that I can be and proving myself to the world.
And action! MI3 Stunt Secrets. Every explosive scene, 100% cruise.
There's more stunts, more than I've ever done in any movie ever.
Tom's riskiest role yet.
That was fun.
Then a former president gets personal.
We had some difficulties in our marriage.
Plus, Cheers, Dallas, Batman, your favorite TV stars reunite. The latest on Mary Tyler Moore. And New York columnist Cindy Adams' Darkest Days.
It just killed me.
Next, E.T.
E.T. tonight at 6:30 on your Action 3 News station.
Your Action 3 News Community Calendar is brought to you by your local Toyota dealer. Spend an evening with author Rosalind Weissman tomorrow at Burke High School. Tickets are $15 at the door. Proceeds benefit Campfire USA. Watch real men battle rank bulls in a raw sport this weekend only at the Quest Center. For tickets, log on to pbrnow.com. You can submit information about your upcoming event online. Look for the Community Calendar button on the news page of action3news.com. Closed captioning is brought to you by your local Toyota dealer.
Back now with Scott Norvell from Taggy Rutherford Financial Group. Braved the weather to get in here and answer a few questions today.
Absolutely.
All right, we've got Donna on line 1. Donna, your question for Scott.
Yes, I invested some money in an IRA company, and it lost, and I was wondering, is there any way of recouping that money?
You know, first of all, I'm sorry to hear that it lost, but let Donna, before we get going, let me just explain to our viewers real quick when we talk about IRAs, it stands for Individual Retirement Account, and actually there are 2 types of IRAs. There's a traditional IRA, which money goes in, may be deductible to the investor, grows tax deferred, comes out as taxable. There's a Roth IRA where the money is never deductible, but grows tax-free, comes out tax-free. Now, Donna, what type of IRA did you invest in?
It's a traditional
IRA. Okay, now the type of investment you used, did you use a CD? Did you use a mutual fund? Did you use a stock or bond?
Stock.
A stock, all right. Well, unfortunately, here's the way IRAs work, is that as you buy and sell inside of an IRA, there are no gains or losses, unfortunately. Basically, there are no taxes on buys and sells. What happens is it is only taxed when it comes out as ordinary income. So unfortunately, if this would have been, for example, a stock that you would own in a regular brokerage account, you would have been able to sell it based on what you invested and what the proceeds from the sale were. You would have had a gain or a loss, or as in this case, you would have had a loss, and you could have taken that and offset any taxable gain dollar for dollar, or you can actually take up to $3,000 of loss on your income taxes. So as a result, you're in a position where there's some benefits certainly to IRAs, but you aren't able to actually go in and recoup or deduct any losses.
Boy, that's a good question.
That was a good question.
And of course, we can always take those questions online. Submit your questions to www.action3news.com. Click on promotions and events. Scott, thanks for coming in. We appreciate it. We will be right back. CT has another check on the story. Snowy forecast. Can't talk after the break.
Did you ever have sex with her?
No, police reports are wrong. I did have sex with her. When I found out that she was 13, I ended all ties with her.
Exclusive stories you won't find anywhere else. Only on Action 3 News, live at 10.
Shop the Design Gallery for beautiful home furnishings and interior design solutions at Nebraska Furniture Mart.
I need my car every day. I've got to have it. So when my transmission started making really bad noises, I was so worried. A friend sent me to Certified Transmission. Did you know they only do remanufactured transmissions using all new parts? And they aren't the lowest price, but they charge a fair price. That's all I ask for. And do you know what else? My friend was right. I trust them.
That's the only way we do business.
The job done right at the right price. That's Certified Transmission.
Did you know some carpet cleaning companies use subcontractors to do the work instead of doing it themselves? It happened to me, but it only happened once. That's when I called Stanley Steamer. Their technicians are employees. They're fully trained and they're background checked. That's why I can trust Stanley Steamer.
Call today and have 3 areas and a hall clean for $99. Our biggest savings of the year.
Call 1-800-STEAMER. Stanley Steamer gets carpet cleaner.
Other home improvement companies say they're factory direct, but Champion actually has a factory.
Purchase one window or one square of siding and take 50% off the second one. Or if you're looking for a little more living space, save $2,500 off a beautiful gable patio room.
Champion Factory Direct. It really does save you money.
Come in this weekend and let us show you how easy a home improvement project can be.
Bone loss is a bone degeneration condition that affects many menopausal women. A research study is currently being conducted in our area of an investigational hormonal drug for the prevention of osteoporosis. To qualify, you must be a woman between 40 and 64, postmenopausal for at least 6 months, and have a uterus. Qualified participants will receive study-related medication, exams, mammograms, and lab tests at no cost and compensation for time and travel. To learn more, call 888-517-8839.
I'm Pete Ricketts, and I approve this message.
Pete Ricketts, Nebraska City Roots, conservative Republican who shares our Nebraska values.
Our nation was founded on the traditions of religious liberty and belief in God. Yet too many liberal judges disregard these core beliefs and leave our values as bystanders to their agenda. Common sense says partial birth abortion should be banned, private property rights guaranteed, and traditional marriage respected. I'll support conservative judges who respect the values that have made America strong and free. Nebraska values make a difference.
And here's a look at what's coming up tomorrow on Action 3 News Live at midday. Dr. Bruce Bueller will be here to answer all your medical questions. You know, we went on the air at noon, no snow. At least there was plenty on the ground, but it wasn't snowing.
Right.
30 minutes later, what's the story?
Yeah, we're looking at some light snow starting to fall here, and that's verified by the First Warning Storm Tracker. You can see some heavier snow bands off to the south of the Omaha Metro, even close to Lincoln. And we'll continue to see snow intensifying as we head through the evening. It will wrap up early tomorrow morning and roughly about a foot of snow when this whole thing is said and done for the Omaha Metro. All
right, of course, stay tuned. Our next scheduled local newscast coming up tonight at 5. Remember, when news breaks, Action 3 News always breaks in. Bye-bye for now.
Everything's new on CBS tonight, starting with